So I still don't feel like doing anything too complicated in video form. I really did want to get on with a series of stuff with body language on the other channel, but it's too hot, it's too sticky, and there's other things going on. And I'm still looking desperately for a different job because I really don't get paid enough for what I do. I don't think so. And I don't know. There's some kind of psychology to that. I think people fool themselves into thinking like cognitive dissonance, like, oh, I must like it because I'm always happy to do this on that on such a low wage, so I must like it. I don't know. There's something like akin to that. That's a very rough take. I mean, I don't know. I have to sort of look into that because I think that's a thing. Um, yeah, it's like two ends of the scale. People not paid enough and people paid too much. Kind of. Hmm. Whatever. Make a separate video, perhaps, on that. So it's still got that, curiosity about human nature and everything else. Um, Room evolution. Sorry about the previous video. It's way too quiet. This one should be much louder. Looking at the monitor volume thing there. I put some beading round a little bit, and I don't know if you could see that with this kind of lighting at the moment. If you can see the beading next to the skirting, next to the baseboard there. I still need a lot more beading on that. So what I've done there, just in case I need to bring up one of the boards, the beading it's just an aesthetic look. It just looks better. It just finishes things off better. And I got here somewhere, or did I put it away? So I'm using screws for the paneling I ordered separately, that because screws that come with the paneling, they're these, and I don't feel like they're long enough and angular enough on the thread, but they're ideal for the beading. So they come with that, and put them in, and it's easy to cut and mark. So pair of screwdriver, I put that screwdrivered them in on the beading, and you can push in enough so that it becomes a bit like a countersunk. So where the black dots are, where the screws are on the beading, I can go along with a bit of grey putty. Then you won't see the things again if I needed to pull them off. I could find, if you could, depends how well hidden it is, but I could go along with a strong magnet, which is how I found the ceiling studs in the ceiling joists along the ceiling. So when I go along with another type of screw, hold on. Got bits of screws and tools everywhere all over the place. Much better, I find that one's steeper, angular, so each turn brings it forward in a lot more quicker than something like this. And the thread itself comes out from the bar a lot better, a lot sharper, a lot more further out. And you just got the, don't know if you could see, make it out, just the usual Phillips crisscross. I need to screw that in. This has been a godsend, a nice little tool from Black & Decker. I think that's a UK firm for tools. You can use a torch. It's bright on there. You can go forward with the torch on as well, but you can go backwards as well if you wanted to. unscrewed, so the beading would be ideal for that if I needed to remove any, and for any reason that I needed to remove from the panels from next to the baseboard, because it'd be a matter of going along with the magnet, remove the putty or grey, whatever I put over it to hide the screws, and then just removing the screws, and which then aid in removing the beading so they can remove the panel. So I've almost finished marking off on the ceiling. It looks crazy. It looks like I've gone insane. The spidery crisscross is where the ceiling studs are. Don't know if you could see that on the camera. Let me see on this screen. You probably can. If I go big screen, yeah, you can see that. So, let's see. Let's go here. So magnetically it's going to stick wherever those crisscross bits are. Marked off so I don't have to, I'm not going to risk like screwing these into a metal stud, and they probably would bite into it actually, but you're going to block it a bit here and there. Conveniently, let's say I got a panel there which hiding those bits, but I've still got the straight line coming out, so I know where the screws are going to go in. Next in line, the studs on the other side, where next line where the panel might probably won't cover. I think is 1, 2, 3 they cover. So the next line coming up, it won't cover. Hopefully I'm making sense, because I know where the studs are by comparison to the one that's not covered. I'll show you what I mean now. This one is in line with that one. So you draw a straight line across there, and it's like you just judge a straight line. Oh, that's where a ceiling stud's going to be, even when it's covered up. So you just go either side a little bit more. Then you're guaranteed to be screwing through the wood joist. You can see some whiteness on that through the plasterboard. This was to test in the middle through the plasterboard. Of course, the hole in the middle is where the bulb was. It took off the lighting fixture and everything. Had an electrician put a junction box in. So what I have to do now is when I get a speaker on, it's a speaker, I can strip the 3-pin plug off and have a neutral and live. It'd be the SL, the switch live, which connects into the junction box. Switch live meaning the wall switch would turn on the Bluetooth speaker. And I know exactly where to put that into the junction box, because that's exactly where the light bulb is at the moment. A light bulb works. It's all in there nice and neat and tidy. We have, talking about electrics and household adaptations, we have our own switch box. Our fuse box is going to be updated sometime this week, so that's going to cost quite a bit of money. It's about a 6-hour maximum of a 6-hour job for the electrician. Good electrician, local, and quite chatty. Got to know him. Just chatting to him when he was doing the junction box through this. Interesting chap. And you got to look after your local businesses. It's some things I know via electrics, via jobs I've had, and small scale stuff like printed circuits, electronics like that as well. Bigger scale stuff and a little bit, but not as much as a qualified electrician. And, I was just talking about different things like, where is it? There's one here somewhere. I keep losing things. The Wago clips, you can, and there's all different sizes you can use. I said, I've got some of those somewhere handy. Where is it? There's one here somewhere. Just wanted to show you. It's like a little plastic and metal thing where you can put in, like, there's no screws to screw down a wire. Is a spring-loaded clip, and I like them. But it makes it all such a neat, tidy job. And let's put that into the junction box. Lots of plastic molding in a junction box, and these Wago clips are in there. So the wiring from the mains to the light bulb, then daisy chained from that to the next room, because upstairs lighting circuit is all daisy chained across, so that each room can have lighting. But just below then, the cupboard to my left is the main junction box, switch box. So the cupboard to my left here is daisy chained across the ceiling, connected there, and then to the light switch, and also connected into the next room. So it begins there. So I was thinking, do I take that one off? Oh no, it starts there. And I made a slight mistake on forgetting how it was wired. I did take a picture, but there was a few errors in between that made it made it a requirement then to ring the electrician, because using one of these above the ceiling anyway and isn't really practical, because you got a screw-on bit, and you got the live and neutral coming out from the top. Really, it's not that practical. We want something that can lie down, like the block that he's put in for the junction box. If I'm making any sense, if I'm not making any sense, apologies. So 2 of those wires, a live and neutral, can come straight off that to a Bluetooth speaker. When I switch the switch on for the light switch, switches on the speaker when I get that, because that's going to be next year sometime at this rate. So yeah, connect it to the switch live, because there's always a live feed anyway, but the switch disconnects to that, and the switch on connects it, switch off. So the wire for that is the switch live, that's what they call it. So he marked off in there for me, SL, switch live, and N for neutral. And that's where those wires are. Same with this test light bulb. I don't know if you can just about make out in there. I put the test light bulb, wired that in just to see, peace of mind, because I do trust his work. But it's no building, it's possible that something might have gone wrong, some wiring somewhere. But I know it all works. It works as it should. Looking forward to getting other things upgraded in the whole building. It's a family member's house, but I am inheriting the house anyway at some point in the future. So, it's an agreement. It's like, may as well have the bigger room because of more bigger stuff, as well as do what I want to this room. And many modifications have happened to this room. This whole room has been a conversion and an interesting project to get my mind focused on certain things here and there. I have a penchant for modifying things. So like different things are blind. I've talked about that before, how I modified a bit of an old blind to use 2 blinds on one piece for the window. Beading going down, so there's that. There was something else I can't remember. We'll probably get to it. So there's just another catch up on Room Evolution. It's more or less the same as the last video, but hopefully the audio is a bit clearer here. So you see some flooring boards there as well. I replaced one of the floorboards because there's some slight mistake here. It got clipped and broke a bit, but ordering one pack, they come in packs of 10, so I got spares or whatever. But in terms of speakers, I may put in other speakers as well, but they won't be powered off the light switch. Use the main one, the light switch. Some Bluetooth speakers that can be on the ceiling as well, but they'll be like rechargeable units. Depends. I need to do some homework, so this will be. There'll be a way to put a reel on the ceiling as well to pull down a green screen. That's an idea I'm playing with. Used to use a green screen during the COVID lockdowns. I use a green screen for a little bit just for fun. They are fun to use. This is something I'm just playing with in my mind's eye. Once all the paneling is up, it looks so much more uniform and tidy instead of crazy lines with spiders on the ceiling. So it's gonna be. I'll change that picture at some point. I like it, but I'm kind of bored with it now, and I want a much longer one. But that's money again. Everything goes back to money, and I really don't earn enough financially in my job to do all this as quick as I want to. Picture there, I want much more like a jungle scene with a waterfall, something like that. Yeah. So there'll be a studio multifunctional kind of room and a bedroom because I sleep on the sofa. Anyway, don't need a bed because the sofa really equals a bed once you got it all tidy to be function as a sofa. Just put a throw over on it and the cover on top of that. Hey presto, you got a bed. It is lovely, comfortable. I have some good sleep on that, although not lately because things feel like a loose end at the moment, and it's kind of stressing me out a little bit here and there. I'll find a way around these things at some point. I know if I insist to persist in different ways rather than doing the same thing that didn't work in the first place, I'll get there. This is where you see certain people online trying the same things that caused them trouble in the first place, and they try harder, not smarter, not better. But I'm in a junction point now where I need to try smarter with something, and one of the smarts would be if I can get a different job that pays better. Yeah. Factory work pays a lot better than retail, and I really, to be honest with you, I think it should be the other way around. But you're doing so much more work mentally. Mentally, you're not doing much in most factory work. Once you know the routine, production line, you can't really. It becomes very boring. Shrinks your brain unless you're an individual that likes to challenge yourself mentally with some things here and there, to step outside of that the monotonous momentum there. And I've had to do that in the past. It looks like if I get factory work, I'll have to do that again. It is what it is. So I think that's all I got to say. Thank you very much for watching. If you are I don't know when I'm going to be back with things like body language. Not it was all planned to go ahead on my other channel, but I just want to fix some things at the moment. Family member needs help, medical help as well, and get them fixed to some degree as well as myself. Can't stand work at the moment, to be honest with you. And I feel like the head office don't really get it. Manager tries to get it, but I don't think they get it. Because they're so passionate about the firm. But that's what managers are for, to be a puppet for these big big companies. I've seen it too many times. And yeah, sure, I always have had an anti-authoritarian streak here and there. Um, Said enough anyway. Thank you very much for watching. You take care, and I'll look forward to doing the next video. I can't think. I keep thinking there was something else I wanted to say, but it's probably just me. It's probably just my brain on overdrive. Cheers. Bye.